So, Neb, can you tell me about your first memory of being on the water and engaging with the river or with nature and water?
Well, just a memory that always pop up. I remember when I first started fishing. Started out at the age of 3, fishing with my dad saltwater in Atlantic City, and something that's always stuck to me that I'll never forget was that he had a rope tied to my waist and his waist. So if I wander off, he always just tug on me back, and I knew better to get back over there. But yeah, it was the very first time. It was night fishing too at that, which was crazy. Most people at that age probably wouldn't even think of that or doing that, but it was just always a fun memory. It's just time I never forget, and I never would have known that I would have took it this serious.
Was your dad a fisherman?
Yeah, yep. Not you know, nowadays we got all this social media and stuff, so growing up we wasn't posting pictures. Like, we didn't have pictures of our catches. We just that was something that we did, you know, for food, for table fare.
So did you wander off a lot in the water where your dad had to reel you back in?
Well, it was actually on the pier, or like a jetty, matter of fact. So we wasn't standing too close, but I say we was probably about 10 yards from the shoreline, and he probably had about a 5 to 6 foot rope, about 6 foot rope, and I was always wandering off. Whenever I seen something, when I wasn't catching fish, I was looking for crabs or something like that, and yeah, I didn't really wander off. I couldn't wander off too far, because he had me on a leash. So.
When did you start fishing on your own? At what age were you when you were just able to go off on your own and start putting your rod in the water?
Wandering off his waist, I say about 5 to 6, about that age, and I would say I really got the hang of it by like 7. I was like a pro already at a young age.
So now, where mainly, so you talked about when you were young, you were fishing down with your dad in the saltwater. So now, where mainly are you fishing when you go out?
Usually creeks and other tributaries off the Delaware River. So like Deptford area, Gloucester area. I started back out, well, my home lake is Newton Lake. That's where I started taking fishing serious again after, you know, playing sports. And that was the first body of water where I took my kayak at too.
How many days a week or do you find yourself on the water now?
Now I'm addicted, so guaranteed at least 3 days a week. But at one point, like I was telling you earlier, I was probably fishing like 5 days a week, even if it was only like an hour, even if it was only 2 hours. So my girlfriend, she get off work at 4:30, and I usually get off at 12. So as long as I beat her home, we good. So, but now I say at least 3 times. That's like the sweet spot to balance things out.
Do you have any of the kids or people from your neighborhood who come out and are curious about what you're doing or want to learn it?
Got friends that had asked, people it's usually people at the like local spots that I fish. They might, if it's somebody that's passing by, like I said, that I know, they might know somebody that fish, like, or a cousin of mine might know somebody that fish, and I try to help them, even if it's you know, over the phone or something, by helping people out, because there's a lot of people that's usually in my inbox on social media about certain things that they want to learn, and if I could go out with them, I'll do that, and if I can't, I'll at least try to help them some other way.
What does being out, you know, on the water and connecting with nature, kayaking and fishing, what does that do for you? Like you say, you're addicted. What's it do? What's making you addicted?
Well, I mean, fresh air, peaceful, having fun, exploring. It's a whole learning curve. Even if it's times I'm out there on the water, I'm not catching fish, I'm wandering off, looking at nature, I'm seeing some wildlife. Yeah, and it just, I just feel like open and free when I'm out there on the water. it just feels good. It's a good feeling. I think everybody should be out there on the water, especially kayaking, because I'm glad that I have. From coming from fishing off the shoreline and stuff like that, where you limited, it's not many spots. And in Jersey, we don't have waters like Virginia and Maryland, where it's bigger bodies of water. It's all opportunity. Like here, it's a lot of small spots or spots you can't even access because it's private and no trespassing signs. So the kayaking, that's a new door, like, because I could go wherever, as long as I could launch my kayak. You don't need much room, about 3 foot width and length. That's all I need, is just a tight spot to get out there and just get connected, catch some fish, learn some things, see some things.
So more than anybody I have ever spoken with about fish and fishing and how to catch them and what they're doing and how they're reacting. So this wealth of knowledge that you have about the fish and the fishing and how you do it, where did you learn all that?
Well, from being out there. It's like it comes to you naturally. When you're out there and it's quiet, you give yourself more time to think, to observe, start putting things together. It's like common sense. You see certain things, then you start to get a theory cooking up in your head, and it just clicks. Everything just clicks. From being out there trying different things, like mainly with fishing, most people might fish a certain way or might think it's only one way. There's never one way. Even me, I might be a pro at catching snakehead fish, but I'm still learning. And it's like I said, I help out plenty of people, and people send me pictures of their first snakeheads all the time. Even people, I had a guy he's from Georgia, but he's over there in Korea for work or something like that. And they have snakeheads over there, so I had told him some things. I didn't think it was gonna work over the phone, but I told him some things, and he got it, and he was happy. And that's what it's all about, being out here, enjoying things, getting connected with nature, as you said earlier, and just go with the flow, learn some new things.
When you're in your daily life and you hear the news, or you're talking with somebody, or I don't know, you hear a comment about pollution here in the tributaries of the Delaware River, or some new threat, that somebody's going to dump some new pollution into the creeks and the lakes that you love, or they're going to dredge through dredging and other activities, the lakes and the rivers that you love. How does it make you feel? Like, what's your reaction to that insult or assault?
I mean, one, it do affect me because, this is like my home now on the water. So when people dumping and polluting the water, it's bad for the fish. It's bad for us too, and bad for the people that eat the fish, obviously. Bad for the wildlife. It's just a bad thing overall, and the only thing that the companies or people that's doing it, you just getting rid of trash, then you go back and do the same thing. I know a lot of people, if it don't concern them, they don't care.
So what would you say to regulators who are considering right now whether or not they should recognize the primary contact recreation, the swimming, the fishing, the water contact that's happening in the Delaware River, and whether or not they should recognize and protect that use of the river?
Well, I mean, to me, in my opinion, I believe it's a no-brainer. Why would you second guess anything that's involved with nature, period? Like I said earlier, it's beneficial for the recreational people, the fishermen, the boaters, the kayakers, the swimmers, and obviously for the fish as well. So, I mean, why not? You'll do yourself a favor by doing that, by taking it on instead of, continuing to neglect the water system. I believe it's a lot of people that stand behind that as well. Like I said, it's common sense to me. It's nature. It's one word, is nature. You got people that enjoy and that's connected to it.
So what is your hope and your vision and your dream for young people living in and around the Camden community in terms of their connecting with the river and getting involved in angling for the fish in the waterways here?
I hope a lot of the younger people can, you know, it's something different. It was different for me at one point, and I'm glad that I did. I used to be playing football and sports all the time, but when that failed or didn't go right or became to an end at one point, I was starting to think like, what is it, where I'm going to turn to now? And like I said, my girlfriend, she had got me back into fishing, and once I did, it's like a new world began for me. So I hope, like I said, I hope that they get connected. Most of all, I hope they find something that just get connected to something that they love. You know, too much nonsense going on. I believe they be out there on the water more, they come to their senses and wake up.
Do you know that you're such an inspiration to so many people in the region, in the nation, in the world? As you said, people are calling you from you know, across the world to talk about what you do. Do you realize what an inspiration you are?
Yeah, I notice it, but I don't let it, like, I don't get big-headed or nothing like that. Like, it's just, you know, genuinely, it's natural. I like to thank nature for that, because like I said, peace of mind, and it allowed me to start waking up more on certain things, on realizing, you know, what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. A lot of people do hit me up and tell me that, like you said, about the inspiration. I just hope that that people get out there more. You never know. You might go fishing or be out there on the water connected, and it might give you that peace of mind to where you can really think, and something might click in your head. So I mean, give it a shot.
How can we as a community work to create more space and opportunity for young people to engage with the river and get involved in fishing?
You know, promoting it more. Social media, have events, giveaways, contests. You know, just to really put it out there, and you know, have different standpoints and viewpoints from other people. That way, it could be more broad, you know, for everybody. You know, go out there and give it a try, because that's what it's all about. Most people just got to give it a try. Some people might look at it and like, oh, I'm not doing that. You know, most people don't know it, so most people fear what they don't know. So if you don't know fishing, you're not going to go fishing, unless, you know, we showing them videos, showing them how to. Like I said, contests, giveaways, take a friend fishing, take a cousin fishing, take a mom, a parent fishing day, something like that. Just so for the most part, events worldwide, you know, promoting them. Promotion is everything. So,
do you think there are enough spots for people to access the river and the streams in and around Camden in order to engage in fishing?
I wouldn't say it's enough. It's a start. It don't take much, but so yeah, it would be nice if you know, the city or something could open, make better launches, or even just areas, clearances, enough space to cast a line. You know, just start putting places in certain areas, because I know sometimes when I go fishing, or if I want to try a new spot, I'll pull up Google Maps on my phone and I search for spots, and when I'm searching for the spots, there's not many access points. Like, most spots is no trespassing or stuff like that, so it's limited in a small area. You can't do too much, and once you do, you're gonna need room to grow, you know, to keep expanding and taking things further. So we do need more spots, I would say.
Is it hard to learn to fish?
So for starters, you know, bait. People that's pros at it now, or people that's not used to it, that's more advanced, we don't look towards bait, but we won't forget it either, because they create first memories. So nowadays, most pros use artificial lures because they bring a new challenge from starting off from using bait. So it's different levels. So if you're a beginner, you could just go out there with a bobber and a hook and a split shot. That's it. That's all you need, other than a rod and line. But even if you didn't have that, you could go out there and tie line on the stick or line on the can, a hook and a weight. There's not too many things you need and just go out there, just pitch it in the water. I know people would be anxious and impatient, but that's why you could take something that you love. You could do an event, you could play sports or something while you're out there, while you're lying, sitting in the water waiting for a bite. And once you get that first catch, you're gonna be addicted from there. But it's not hard. It's definitely not hard. You gotta catch your first fish, or even just give it a try being out there with nature. It'll click.